Hello, Stickers and Scuffs friends. We are thrilled to bring you another episode of the podcast tonight in partnership with our esteemed friends at North American Source Solutions. Led by the dynamic duo of Pops Campbell and Steve Decline, NOS offers a comprehensive range of professional services designed to fuel the growth of North American companies. With their expertise in logistics management, outsourcing, sales management, manufacturing support, marketing strategy, nearshoring, and much more, NOS serves as a one-stop solution provider for all your growth needs. Whether you require assistance in locating the right suppliers or want to optimize your manufacturing processes, NOS is here to help. Their sourcing capabilities enable companies to tap into a vast network, bringing products from all around the world to North America, ensuring a local presence without compromising quality. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to expand your business. Reach out to Pops and Steve at NOS today and embark on a journey towards success.
This episode of the Stickers N Scuffs podcast has been brought to you by Remax Jack. Jack provides a friendly, customer-driven service in search for homes and provides excellent details on the market, values, and trends in buying and selling. Jack has been able to work with Cam on his search and always makes himself available when he has a question. Remax Jack will help you if you're looking to buy or sell a home within the GTA. He's who Cam K trusts to find his next home, and he should be yours too. Remember, call Remax Jack and start to pack. For more information, go to remaxjack.ca.
Stickers and scuffs in the fast lane, yeah. Live with the raw, feel the drive, yeah. Madness on the track, we ain't slowing down. Cam and Graydon taking it around town. From the bleachers to the pits and pride, stories scream loud, no place to hide. Engine screaming gas pedal to the floor. Ontario nights, we keep asking for more. Broadcasting live through the metal and might. Under the lights, racing pure delight. Going to flash.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Stickers and Scuffs podcast. We are excited to have championship week here for Flamboro Speedway. And right now we have, I believe he's still second in the points by two in the
points.
2 points in the Hogan Law and McClurkin Properties of Cambridge Pure Stock Division out at full throttle at Flamboro Speedway. Number 17 and future SNS driver for 2025, Spencer Riddell. Finally, we know we got to say his name right. He put it out there. We say his name Riddell. Spencer, how are you tonight?
I'm good. Good. Yourselves?
Awesome,
Well,
man.
we got to know, bud. How we feeling? The big day is Saturday.
Honestly, it's surreal. Like last year we were in second in points going into, but we were a lot farther back. So
Okay.
this year we're ready.
Now, I'm not as familiar. I don't think Graydon and I we are not really as familiar, and we love hearing about the history. So when we talked at Sunset Speed, you mentioned you haven't been racing a very long time. Let's hear the story of Spencer Riddell. Where did this start for you?
So going to the track, I've been going since I was about 5 years old. My dad's the pace truck driver at Flamboro, has been for longer than I've been alive. So that's kind of where it all started.
Cool.
And fast forward till I was about probably 12 or 13, I started working at the track. I did the scoreboard. Just back then it was just manual, so you just type in the number first and then third, and then you'd hit the lap every time it goes by. And then I graduated to doing the transponders up until about 4 years ago, and then I finally got behind the wheel.
Cool. That's
Was it
awesome, man.
always the decision to go to Pure Stocks?
Kind of like at the time it was when the pure stocks went around. I when I first got all my racing gear, they didn't have pure stocks, there was mini stocks. So that was the initial goal, but then it was just like I was young and I didn't have a trailer, I didn't have anywhere to put a car and all that stuff. So now that I'm older and I don't know when to call it as responsible, but I can use what I want with my money, and so I started going racing.
So who are the racers that you would have looked up to when you were working at the track? Who were the racers that Flamboro regulars will say?
One of the biggest guys I always looked up to, and you guys probably heard his name before, is Dave Bailey.
Yeah.
You used to run mini stocks up at Flamboro before the Thunderstock days, right?
Yep.
So him for sure. I've watched him, and that's kind of how I think I drive sometimes is watching him. I kind of picture myself kind of being like that too. Kevin Albert's another stellar driver. He runs a late model now, but back in the day it was a street stock. And then of course you got your like your Elliots like Gary and David and so many guys, Jason Shaw, like
It's a good one too.
Paul,
Yeah.
like Paul House, like now Jordan's
Mhm.
racing. Like it's so many people I grew up watching. It's kind
Yeah,
of
it's
sad.
just
None of them really race anymore. So it's now I'm watching all their kids.
it's just like you had a first hand. Oh, maybe like how was it to take in the race? Like you couldn't take in the races when you're running the scoreboard like a spectator, but I mean you're gaining knowledge all the time, like who these drivers are and stuff. As you say, like you've watched these guys forever, and so like you can kind of develop and watch their style and like kind of build yourself. Like as you said, like watching it, it kind of is a great learning tool for you, right?
Oh, 100%. Like, and then even before then, like when I was riding in the pace truck with my dad, we're sitting right on the inside of turn 3 and 4. So you could see how they come into the corner, off the corner, how they set up passes. Like I was a sponge for years. And then when I started racing, my very first race, I got lapped and I've never been lapped since. So
Wow, man.
it's like
Wow.
it's I was a sponge and
Yeah.
even today I still follow guys around the track. Like if you're faster than me, I'm like go by because I'm gonna follow you and I'm gonna learn what you're doing.
The information's there. You just got to be able to see it if you want it, right?
Yeah.
And wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome, man. Really cool.
The one thing I think we could say about the division as a whole, and I've said this on Track Weekly, I've said on the show multiple times. I think the pure stock division at Flamborough is probably the best pure stock division in the province. You guys routinely put on phenomenal races, and the style is a little bit different. That you guys actually do you do double features.
Yeah.
And now, if I'm not mistaken, how you set the field is the lead lap, like reverse order of the lead lap cars from the previous race.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the lap cars also get inverted too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically it's an inversion of everybody except the lead lap cars stick together and the lap cars stick together.
So going from that to then doing like say a heat race when you go to say a traveling track at like Sunset, or
Mhm.
I don't know if you've been to Peterborough as well.
Yeah.
Is how much of a different experience was that for you?
So I always have run double features at Flamborough since I started racing. So the first
Mhm.
time I actually ran a heat race, I believe I was at Sunset and we had to start at the back.
Mhm.
We had to start at the back for both heats or whatever. So like honestly, I didn't care. It was my first time running there, so I was like, it's probably a good thing. And
Mhm.
then Peterborough for Autumn Colors was the next time I ran a heat race. And yeah, I'm not like I personally am not a fan of heat racing. I'm a long run guy. I like
Mhm.
the 30 laps. My car comes to life on lap 15. So a 10 lap heat race, I'm struggling.
Right.
I
Mhm.
can't. I hardly make passes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
we've got a guy that's right beside me that he's had a couple of attempts in a pure stock race. He hasn't we haven't gotten to the Flamborough yet, but that is on the bucket list for him. So obviously, because we can talk about being a sponge, Graydon Bunn is also a sponge. He likes to take as much as he can. So what is the trick that you've found to getting around Flamborough Speedway? Because while for a lot of people, it might not seem that difficult. It's a very intimidating track. And then you go and you see a wreck, say like what Mark Allen just went through. It can swallow cars pretty quickly as well.
yeah, yeah. The biggest thing about Flamborough too is, and I think a lot of people forget about it, is that you can go on the grass if there's an accident. Like, although you make sure you have your car controlled because it is a very narrow straightaway too, right?
Hmm.
Right.
But I mean, for driving it, I um I love the top lane. A lot of people are scared to run the
Interesting.
top. My car is more geared towards the top. I can't run the bottom. It just bogs down.
Right.
Got no speed off the corners.
She
And
likes it wound up, eh?
yeah, so
Yeah.
basically like the way I run is I run where they aren't. So if they're giving me the top, then I'm taking it. Like I'm going for it. It's a very bottom dominant track for sure. You can get shuffled out of line just like any short track and fall right to the back. It happens to the best of us.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's the biggest thing is you like Flamboro's got the tight corners too. You want to try to look out the driver's side too when you're coming through the corners. And then you can always see kind of where if there's an accident and stuff.
Yeah.
But like everything, you watch certain drivers and you can almost see it coming too, right?
Mm-hmm.
It, it's a
Yeah.
fast track. They've what I was always told when I was growing up is if you can win at Flamborough, you can win anywhere. It's one of the toughest tracks to run. So I've
Definitely
heard
looks like
a lot of late.
it.
Yeah, I mean, I know Graydon, one of the things that you had said was that, it looks very intimidating. And it is because I
Yeah,
think with the difference is, Delaware, for example, while it's extremely fast, it gets spread out.
yeah,
You don't
yeah,
really have anywhere to go like
yeah.
Flambro, do you?
No, Flamborough, and a lot of people are scared to turn too. Like that wall is intimidating. Like I remember, like I've watched Phil smoke the wall there.
Hmm.
Alex has smoked the wall. Now Mark smoked. Brady's smoked it. Like so
Yeah.
many people have hit the wall there, and it's never a light hit. Like it's always big,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and it's a scary wall. I kind of there's nowhere really to nothing to do with it. It's kind of in a bad spot. Like you'd almost have to reconfigure the track to fix it now.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But it's a definitely a scary spot for sure.
But it's just the same as like any track or any sort of element of danger in any competitive sport. You just have to recognize that it's there. And I mean, that's why there's statistics because not everything's 100% all the time. So I mean, it can jump out and bite you, and it's just something that every racer that belts in a car knows that there's an element of danger, and it can lie. It doesn't have to be at that spot, the
Yeah.
turn two or whatever, right? Um, Shifting gears a little bit here, you got a couple of big checks and signage for some dirt tracks behind you, so it's not all about Flammy.
Yes.
Talk about the love of dirt, man.
Uh, so basically, I Wade Thorne was I drive his cars every time. I've never drove anybody else's yet. So
Right.
me and him we talked about it probably last year at the beginning of the year, and he's like, "Hey, I got a car. Like, I'm renting it out. Whatever. If you want to hop in it one night, go for it." And I'm like, "All right, well, let me think about it. I'm gonna take my time or
Yeah.
whatnot." So I actually hopped in it on championship night last year
Hmm.
and qualified in because that's a tough field to qualify into. Like
Right.
there's a B main every night. Like it's tough.
Yep.
And managed to almost complete all the laps. The car ended up overheating and shutting off on me. So then, of course, the next following year, I was like, I need redemption. I need to do it again. I need to finish a race. So we did a lot more this year. I think I did 6 or 7 starts at Oswego and then the one at Humberstone.
Nice.
And it was fun. Like it's the most fun I've ever had in a race car, for sure.
Talking on that sponge thing again. So, talk about like Alex Stewart's talked to me about driving at Oswego, and I my interest is peaked. So the difference obviously is the surfaces,
Yeah.
dirt versus asphalt. How do you attack it differently?
So Oswego's once again intimidating, very
Hmm.
fast. You hardly ever use the brake,
Right.
basically just to set the car, and then
Hmm.
you're back on the gas. Like you're still in turn one, you're on the gas again. Like you just tweak it a little bit, and then you're steering your way out. And
Kind of like that first snowfall kind of thing when you're out
yeah,
playing around, right?
yeah. And then the biggest thing for a newcomer is you have no mirrors, so
Right.
you can't you see nothing around you. So you just point your car straight and kind of stay in your lane. If you want to change lane, you got to kind of just slowly move up or down. But even then, like I'm still nervous every time. Like I'll come back into the pits and my crew guys will be like, "What are you doing?" Like go to the top. There's nobody behind you. I was like, well, I don't know. I can't see.
Yeah.
I don't want to go up there and then just destroy myself. So it's intimidating.
Oh, yeah.
And but like for the most part, like everybody's like, oh, like you got to get it sideways and all that stuff. And really, I don't drive it much different than pavement. Like
That's what Alex has said too.
yeah,
So
you
that
keep the
it's
car straight, and
yeah.
because as soon as you get sideways, you're scrubbing speed. So you try to keep it as straight as possible. That's what I do, at least,
Yep.
and it seems to work. Like Oswego, I don't think I've got a top 10 yet, but that's a tough track.
Yeah.
Humberstone, I just drove it like pavement. I think that's why I did so good. I
Nice.
the guy in front of me, he was all over the place. So I was just like, well, I'll just stay on him until the last lap. And then I almost got him at the line, but I beat him in tech. So a win's a win.
There
I
you
can
go.
call
Take
it out
it.
just like that.
Nice.
Now, I happen to, be in this conversation with two people who have raced on Humberstone. Yes, Graydon's raced there in a legend
I
car.
didn't know what the hell I was doing when I did that.
I think that was
I didn't even
that
have
was your
hot laps.
yeah.
So he just went
Oh,
out for
there you
heat.
go. I think it was wasn't that one of your first? That was
That was my second ever time in a
second
race
ever
car of
start.
any kind.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Unfortunately though,
Deep end of the pool.
we do know that Humberstone is closing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how great of a facility and how great of a track it was.
It's I loved it. It's very, it's that track that's like in the middle of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like you go through Port Colborne and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's just on the left-hand side. And it's a big red barn and lights and stuff. Like there's only one wall and it's on the front straightaway, and then the backstretch wall is like way down in the pits, basically.
Yeah.
They just added the guardrails. So there was no walls, no nothing. So it's a neat track.
Old
It
school.
sucks that it's closing because
Mhm.
I loved going there for all the specials and stuff. Like kind of it was a good way to cap off a weekend
Yeah.
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
And then you go in from there back and forth between there and Flamboro, and you've done a couple of one-offs at Sunset and like you said Peterborough, and the the future is obviously very bright for yourself, but you're in a points championship with two very, very competitive, very good racers that are in a combined effort for BT Racing, Wade Thorne and Jillian Hills. And I mean, if Jillian Hills, I mean, if there was somebody that knows Flamboro Speedway, it would be her. And Wade Thorne is no slouch either. So 2 points is not too far away. And somebody that you mentioned to me at Sunset in your interview has all of a sudden found himself right behind you and Chase Mitchell coming in with 2 wins. And you maybe shouldn't have said anything because now
Smart.
he's got two and he's in
Yeah.
third in the points. So um it's been a little I think he's a little too far back to get any sort of positioning there, but the battle between you Wade, and I guess Jillian will be probably Wade, I think, in the
Yeah,
car
Wade's
this weekend.
I think. Yeah.
So what's it going to take? Because they're a really, really stout car, really, really stout team.
Yeah. So if I remember correctly, if I look back for the last 2 weeks, me and Wade have finished one in front of the other or one in front of the other. Like it's been like that for the last four races. And same with last week. Like last week, I was behind him with two to go. Unfortunately, the guy in front of him made a mistake. He checked up and I didn't. So I got by him with I think I got by him with one to go. And then he cut a tire in the second feature and kind of slowed him down. And I got by him again too. So anything can happen. Same can go for me. Um, like I said, we're having troubles with the car right now. Hopefully
Mhm.
it's fixed for we got a week. So my mechanic's coming out to help me tomorrow. So maybe he can point me in the right direction because I'm not mechanically inclined. I use YouTube.
Mhm.
So
So the first time we've heard that actually.
yeah,
The-
it's so I mean I've said this before, and good friends with Mark Allen. He's a great, solid guy, and we talk about it all the time. He goes, you know what? Like, look at the competition you're in. I came into the season thinking top five in points to begin with. Like, we got Craig Cole, Jordan Wilms, Wade, Cam Thompson. Like, I was like, these guys are multi-time feature winners. I was like, top five's good. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
in second, I'm happy with the result either way. Obviously, I want to win. Like,
Yeah.
it'll be awesome to win at my home track that I grew up at. I don't know if I'll get another chance to be up there again. So obviously you want to take full advantage and just pick my battles this weekend and hopefully come out on top.
Man, you pretty well answered my question. All right. I was just going to say, like, it's got to feel pretty cool being in a title conversation at a track that you know so intimately in like so many different ways that no matter what happens, if you, as you say, like it's essentially just another race when you get in and put the helmet on and all that. You just run your race, let the chips fall where they may, kind of thing. And just to be, as you say, among those names in a title conversation, that's got to be pretty special. And you got to be pretty proud of yourself, no matter what happens from here on out.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's like I said, it's surreal. I
Yeah.
when I first started racing, I didn't. It took me a year and a half to even get a heat win. My first win was a heat win at Peterborough,
Yeah.
and and then the following year, so it was basically 2 years for a feature win. So I mean, you put in the time and effort, they come. Unfortunately, I don't win 5 races a year like some guys, but maybe next year we're gonna keep plugging away. But
But
it's
that's
it's
sorry.
crazy.
Yeah, but like you said you haven't been in the full-time game for too long, but I mean you kind of worked your way into it, which is kind of a smart way to go. You kind of get your even like right down to budgetary things. You kind of understand what it cost like to put a race together financially and then kind of parlay that into what it was season would cost and barring complications, of course. But I mean that's just another thing that racing teaches you too, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like
Yeah.
I'm a tall tale guy on trying to keep the division cost effective.
Hmm.
Um, I know a lot of guys, I'm not going to say any names, but I know a lot of guys that will spend $200 on tires. And I'm just like, I'm not that guy. I don't need to be that guy. Like, you ask anybody in the pits at Flamboro, they'll be like, who's the most nuts person on tires? And they'll always point to me because my tires are chunked out and I'm still ripping 19.2s.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
like, they'll, like, Leo, for instance, will come over and be like, you're still running that tire? I'm like, yep, it's fine. Still holds air. But yeah, I think the bone stock division needs to tighten up a little bit more. Um, because I know what I'm spending and it's a lot. Like
Hmm.
that was a long season. Like I
Right.
think I'm at 22 races. Well, 22 nights. Sorry, that's not races. That's 44 if my math is correct.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
insane when you think
Right?
about it.
So like if I think there was 21 points nights this year. So
Man,
like you throw it back to budgeting. Like you gotta if you want to run the full season, you gotta be smart with your money.
Now,
damn right.
does
You can
does
put on
is
a
that an is that a and I would say like that's probably a reason why you guys have so many nights is because you guys are putting on good shows.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't be getting the opportunities to be on the APC shows like you were on Racing America this year
Mhm.
Yeah.
because you guys are putting on
Yeah, big time sport.
fantastic racing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh
we got into the gold rush too. We weren't originally
yes,
on that, and
yes.
we got added to that as well.
Mhm.
So
So
obviously you guys are doing something right. I've asked you this before. I want to know a couple more racers that have been in the division that stand out to you as either future stars of the division, people that we should be looking out for.
well, Chase Mitchell, for sure. That guy's turned on the Jets as of late. Um, but he works hard too. He does him and his dad do a lot of the work for the MRC
Hmm.
crew there for sure. Mac Ingram, he's been stepping it up too.
Other buddy Mac, that's right.
Podium this week. So good to see him up there. Chance Rogers just built a brand new car this year, so he's kind of still struggling with it, but
Hmm.
he got a feature win this year. He got his first one. He's gonna be fast once he figures that car out for sure. Um, but then like some of the old guys, like Chris Burrows, right?
Yeah.
Built a pure stock. He was struggling at the beginning of the year, fast now. Mark
Hmm.
Allen, like I can name the whole division. Like
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like
the
it's
way these
pretty much
persons work, anybody can win.
I look
Yeah.
at this and go, really, every single person up here has had at least a top finish. I
Yeah.
mean, there's at least there's maybe like one or two that haven't gone up there, but for the most part, everybody's gotten up where they've had an opportunity to finish in the top five. Rachel Mitchell just finished like runner up.
Yep. She's
Um,
on two dash for cashes.
yeah,
Like,
so there's another one, right? And I like yellow race cars, so I'm impartial to seeing that car up there. But the other thing that I would love to know is, if you are able lucky enough to come away with this championship, are you staying pure stock racing for next year, or would you entertain going to a different division or going to dirt or doing something different?
yeah. So if I win the championship,
Hmm.
I'd for sure be looking to. I'm gonna keep the car,
Hmm.
just because Flamboro's my home. So if I want to go run when I can, I will.
Hmm.
But currently, I'm looking for another car right now for to be a mini stock, and kind of almost maybe similar to what Alex is doing.
Okay.
primarily be a dirt car.
Hmm.
Um, just because I find it's more cost effective.
Yeah.
Like mini stock tires and everything,
Right.
like they're expensive. Where dirt, I'm pretty sure, like I've talked to Wade, he gets like almost a full season out of a tire unless it pops or something, right? So it's
Yeah.
like it's just so much more cost effective. Although
Hmm.
you also have to weigh into the fact that the wrecks do happen. Like Oswego, you're 7 wide, 6 wide, things
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
So you gotta, it's something I'll think about in the off season.
Yeah. There's
But
trade-offs, right?
yeah, there's
Well,
trade-offs for
and the
sure.
Big O is also live on GeForce TV.
Exactly. Right.
It's with a division that are, I mean, listen, everybody likes their sprint cars, but Cam K loves a good mini stock race. And those mini stock races on dirt have been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Again,
I,
another
I
great division.
exactly. I go to Oswego for the Thunder stocks and mini stocks. Like
Yep.
they're my favorite divisions.
Yeah.
I'm a big modified guy,
Yeah.
so the sprints are nice. I don't mind them, but I
They're,
like
they're
to,
not the same though. Let's be honest. Come on.
yeah, I
I want
still
to
like
see.
the
I
good
want
old
to see
black.
some. I like people ripping the cars that they could have on the road. You know,
Yeah.
like that's what I like to see. And
Brewster Baker style.
Brewster Baker style, man. That'd be cool actually if you were able to get up there in Thunderstocks and race with the guy that you watched, Dave Bailey.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
that would be really cool to see. Or Ryan, you run with Ryan Beagle and um
Try to.
well, yeah, he's a little hard to get. He's a
Yeah,
little hard to beat,
might
but
take a couple of years, but we'll get
yeah,
there.
yeah. Um, Obviously, Spencer, we're really excited to have you as part of the Stickers and Scuffs family for next year. And one of the reasons is what we said. There's people that we gravitate to because of how well they interview and how well they're marketable, and not just that, also on how good they perform on the racetrack. So, one of the things that we're really excited about is to have you as a part of that for 2025. But for now, we want to wrap the show up with you thanking. And I told you to prepare for this, so you better have. Uh, uh, Good. With all the partners on the race car, and the people in your life that have been able to support you and helped you get on track and each and every week. So this is your time to shout those amazing people out.
All right. Well, first and foremost, I got to thank all my sponsors. Of course, I would not be doing this if it wasn't for them. So my main sponsor is Mega Lift Truck. They've been on the car now for 3 years. Them for sure is an out of post hole digging. They joined us last year, and he's a great guy. If you need any post holes, that's the guy to go to. He's the number one. They all come in pink shirts, and
Nice.
they're great guys. Jones IT Solutions, Sterling Honda, they got me the car, so huge thanks to them. Um, Wingers Cabinets, Injury Rehab Center, they take care of me both on and off the track. Being kind of a carpenter and having a bad back, he takes care of me off the track for sure, gets me ready to go. Timson Auto and DeBoer Motorsports, they built the car for me. So thanks to Trevor, of course, for all his work. He's actually coming tomorrow to help fix the car. So big thanks to him. Of course, the family, my girlfriend who puts up with this all summer long. And it's not just one track, it's all of them. And her family for sure too, because my car stays in their garage. My 64 tires I have that are sitting around their house, a lot of space. My uncle, my trailer, my spare cars out there. And then my dad too. I have all my engine hoists and everything in this garage. So I have stuff spread out across Southern Ontario to help me race. So my family's always supported me. I probably have one of the biggest crews that come to the track every single weekend. Like there's probably about 20 of us in there in my pit pad. And I for being the only kind of racer besides me and my dad in the family, it's cool to see them all come out and watch and
Yeah.
experience it with me to finally see the joy I get out of it. Um, and the girls too, my little nieces, they love it now too. And my little cousin wants to get a go-kart now, and
Yeah.
it's really cool to have them there. And then of course my crew, Kyle, he busts his balls, man. That guy fixes everybody else's car before mine. I swear. Like Alex will come off the track and Kyle will already be out with jack stands getting ready to go, or Mark Allen, for instance. Like, man, I don't know how many front spindles we've replaced on that car, but Kyle's the first one in there. And then even tonight, like I showed up tonight after work and he's already got the front tires off it, and we're wrenching away until like 7:15, like as long as I could before I get here to do this. So that guy, he works hard. And then of course all the tracks, Flamboro especially, they being a staff member, I know the hard work they do to prep a night of racing. And John, man, that old guy, I love him. He's so quiet, and I wish more people would, like hang out at the end of the night, because like he'll come by and just he won't say anything, but he'll just hang out with you and just likes to watch everybody. It's like the olden days, like how we used to have it. And then if lastly of pedal power, they're without them, I probably wouldn't be the racer I was today, because I love to criticize myself every time I can when I watch their videos and then learn what I did wrong and not do it the next week. So Clark and Ingrid, they do a great job. And now they're synced up with Kevin on the mic, so you can hear the commentators and everything. And it's just like watching it at home. Like that's the first thing I do. If like usually sometimes they have it loaded by like 2 a.m. and I'm already watching it. Like I just experienced it, but I'm watching it. So
that's become my realty. After coming home from a racetrack, we're gonna go watch pedal power the next day.
You do a great job.
That's what we do. Definitely Ingrid and Clark. And I guess I'd have to ask this because you've got them on the background, but is this the year for the Maple Leafs to finally make it?
I don't know. They lost last night to a farm team, so I'm not getting my hopes up. Not quite yet.
Oh man, it's tough being a Toronto fan, ain't it?
Always. My junior team's good, so it's okay.
Yeah, there we go. Spencer Riddell here on the Stickers and Scuffs podcast. Thank you so much for joining us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.